New year, new indie games, and I'm continuing my indie wishlist series with lucky number 13. None of these games have been released yet, so add them to your wishlist to show your support for the developers. Summer House has a free demo, and it's more of a toy than a game, but it was still an absolute joy to play. This is a small-scale building game where you craft your own tiny, colorful neighborhood. No rules, no goals, just creativity. Another one with a demo, Blessed Burden, is a horror platforming adventure. Play as the last surviving priest in a religious apocalypse and make your way through trap-filled tunnels and labyrinths. Best of all, you can play as fast or slow as you'd like. Vessels of Decay is a retro-inspired action-adventure game set in post-apocalyptic Scandinavia. Follow two siblings as they navigate an overgrown world where monsters of myth and ancient folklore now rule. After 100 years of silence, research station Fragrance Point starts sending signals to Earth. What does it mean? I don't know, but this game looks very wacky. Explore Fragrance Point, hang out with its inhabitants, and poke around where you're not supposed to. Bionic Bay is a physics-based 2D platformer set in an ancient biomechanical world. Both the environment and our character will burn, break, freeze, explode, and get vaporized. Plus, it has a super cool swap mechanic that you can actually test out right now in the demo. Ooh, this is a good one. Dome King Cabbage is a visual novel set in the world of a monster collecting RPG. It centers around a cloud person named Mush who's on their way to a job interview, and it looks absolutely unreal. Sopa is the beautifully animated, heartwarming story of a boy who finds himself in a magical fantasy world while helping his grandmother prepare a pot of soup. As he returns to the kitchen with new ingredients, things start to change in unexpected ways. In Garganta, you play as an android racing their way through a brutal megastructure in order to stop a device threatening to destroy the universe. I'm always up for a good parkour game, and the hostile mechanical environment this one is set in looks to be right up my alley. Another game that's atmosphere might fill you with dread is the horror FPS The Flat. You're just another cog in the corporate machine, but one day you've had enough and might just snap. The game has some pretty unique stealth mechanics where you have to pretend to work and keep your head down in order to avoid getting caught. Master the ancient tracks of Tyval in Phantom Spark, a high-speed, gravity-defying time trial racer. Meet the guardians of this place and best them in head-to-head competition, or challenge your friends in split-screen multiplayer. Dead Flamingo is a fantasy sailing game about a young fisherman in a vibrant yet insidious world that ends every 7 days. Head out on the open sea, discovering islands and their hidden secrets as you search for a way to break this cycle and fend off hideous beasts. Enter the breathtakingly beautiful world of Arco, a unique tactical action game where your decisions shape the story. Journey through lush forests, sweeping plains, and scorching deserts, battling warriors and slaying monstrous creatures as you discover the story of 3 different characters. Whisper is a relaxing 3D open world filled with magical creatures called wisps. As a whisper, it's your job to learn about them and figure out why they've come here, especially the legendary wisp that's been causing chaos and destroying everything in its path. Malitzioner is that weird sandbox game whose trailer went viral a couple years ago about a giant policeman that watches over you. You've been arrested for a crime you didn't commit, but good luck trying to convince the man in the sky that you're innocent. Bye Sweet Carol is a sickly sweet horror game set in a world infested with rabbits. Carol has disappeared from her home under suspicious circumstances, so we set out to follow her trail and come across some unspeakable horrors along the way. If you want less creepy, more cute, meet the Merlies, a community of tiny birds that live among the remains of an ancient civilization. Build up your town, gather your birdies, and spread your wings in the cutest post-apocalyptic adventure I've ever seen. Kibu is a tranquil game set in the heart of the wilderness. As a solitary monk, you must build a temple, brew tea, journey into the wilds seeking out ancient spirits, and carve out your own special corner in a beautiful and mysterious land. You're the keeper of a bar in a small port town. Naturally, you overhear a lot of gossip, confessions, people's inner thoughts and deepest desires. The Secret Ties of Strandcliff is a detective game where you use this information to your advantage and decide which side of the law you want to end up on. The Drifter is a pulp adventure thriller. After Mick Carter witnesses a violent murder, he himself is then killed and finds himself back in his old body just seconds before his death, hunted and haunted to help him untangle a mad web of conspiracies. Experience the world of bugs through the eyes of the ant herder in Humbug Tales, Keeper of the Swarm. Meet a quirky cast of tiny friends, explore lush wetlands, and use your wits to outsmart predators and enemy swarms in a larger-than-life adventure. Akatori is an epic Metroidvania where you wield your staff to fight, jump, and explore diverse realms across different eras. Join Mako on her journey to build friendships, face foes, and uncover ancient gods while discovering her true self. After the collapse, humankind has been forced to live underground. In Antro, a rhythm, action, puzzle, and 2D platformer game, music will be your ally as you fight to get your freedom back. Your mission is to deliver a package to an unknown recipient. The revolution, that's something you stumble into along the way. And last, we have Miniatures, a playable short story collection with 4 graphical adventures. Inside an old wooden box lies 4 curious items: a toy lizard, a captured moth, a screwdriver, and a seashell. Each one has its own story to tell. Thanks for joining me to learn about some very special indie games. If you'd like to catch up on the rest of the series, you're in luck because I squeezed the first 12 episodes into one very long video. Check it out here.